Good evening, everybody. I've adjusted the height. Tell me how it works out. It's kind of a trial and error here, and I leave it up to you to tell me what needs to be changed. Um, I was informed by one of my subscribers, and I didn't know this because I probably was in a hurry doing it, that when you guys tip me through Super Thanks, those greedy bastards at YouTube take 30%. I mean, awesome people at YouTube, don't hurt my already bad algorithm numbers. So I filled out a whole Cash App thing. I'm going to put the link if you feel like tipping me, because advice and you tip bartenders and 'tis the season. That's enough of a guilt trip, I think. If you're new, welcome. Check out the older videos. They're worth watching, despite the fact that I'm really, really awkward, but in a comical way. So, it could be entertainment value too. I wanted to get on a narcissism topic. And this is something, sadly, most of us here can relate to. And that is, I wanted to go over 13 signs of gaslighting in your relationship. So if you think you're being, someone is gaslighting you, someone that you're involved with, or somebody that you're, thinking about getting involved with, or you're talking to, things are heading that way, here's what to look out for. And it could also be someone who's, trying to get with you. And I'm going to add a little thing here. A lot of times too, someone who wants to be with you will gaslight not only you, but if you're with or getting close to somebody else, they'll gaslight them, and you'll see it turn on a dime. Either way, their end game is the same thing: utter control of you, and you relinquishing your free will to serve them and be nothing more than their caretaker and whore, because that is the end game of the narcissist and the borderline in terms of relationship. Complete submission to them. So, without me stalling anymore, we're going to get into 13 signs of gaslighting in a relationship. You, the target, will no longer feel like the person you used to be. In other words, people around you, coworkers, friends, they're going to see a noticeable change in you. You just, your facial expressions, everything, you're just down all the time. And it's bad, but you feel like you can't do anything and get out of it. But people notice. People notice. And if you're at the point where you're saying something's wrong, then it's real bad and you should get out, no matter how bad you can't say no. Yes, ENFJ's you. So, number 2 is, because I wrote these down, being more anxious and less confident than you used to be. You doubt yourself. You're not, you're always looking over your shoulder to see, like, oh, am I doing something that'll piss the narcissist off? Am I allowed to talk to this person? Should I smile at this person? Should I hug this person? Should I, be who I've always was around this other person that I had chemistry with? Because your life's no longer your own. You exist solely to serve the narcissist who now considers you property. People notice. 3, you often wonder if you're being too sensitive because the narcissist or the borderline has trained you to believe that it's all in your head. There's nothing wrong, that they are the best you'll ever have. And anytime you're upset or feel like you're not being treated right, you are being treated right because they're perfect and you're just being too sensitive. 4, you feel like everything you do is wrong. Because remember, when dating a narcissist, you can't make any right decisions. You can't do anything right. The only right thing you can do is to do whatever they say when they say it and do it all happy, like be a slave to their will, because that's what they want. And even the slightest defiance of that, you'll get narcissistic injury or borderline meltdown, and those are fun. 5, always thinking it's your fault when things go wrong. Again, same point. Narcissists believe they are perfect. They do not do anything wrong. So if something doesn't work out the way they wanted it to in terms of your relationship, it's because, you weren't going with the program, their program, be it going where they want to go out, or with, staying away from the people they want you to stay away from, and being completely and utterly submissive in the bedroom to whatever their depravity is. But you should feel honored that the great narcissist has chosen you. You're apologizing too often. Now, you're doing this in 2 ways. You're apologizing to your narcissist for not being subservient enough, but also you're apologizing for the narcissist to all the people that are like, this is messed up. Like, what is going on here? Like, something's got to be done. I got to open my big mouth. I got to call this person out. And that scares the hell out of a target who's in a relationship like this, who's not ready to face the truth. Yeah. And if you're the person about to call it out, you might be in for a world of hurt too. Well, it depends, you know. Are you in a place that likes truth, or does it like status quo? Because that's a factor, whether you know it or not. 7, having a sense that something's wrong, but being unable to identify what it is. Oh, yes, very big one. Like, if you're somebody that maybe the narcissist target, the person they're involved with, confides in, they may say things like, I'm in a bad situation. I feel ashamed of myself. I don't know what to do. And when you ask them, you know, well, like, I've noticed, you know, like, I've dealt with situations like this. What can I do for you? I don't know. I don't know. It's just, they know something's wrong, but they're terrified to let the truth out, to let somebody help them, to let somebody confront the narcissist or borderline, because they're probably afraid of what the reaction's going to be, because it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. There's always shit that, you know, even if you think you know what's going on, the real sick shit you don't know, but eventually you do know. And people will never look at that narcissist the same, and rightfully so. Number 8, often questioning whether your response to your partner is appropriate, wondering if you are too unreasonable or not loving enough. In other words, once again, you haven't completely submitted to every one of their whims. In other words, they don't control your whole life. Like, if the narcissist wants you to, like, you know, in one of the cases from 15 years ago, to quit school and stay at home and cook all day, you're supposed to do that. And if the narcissist says you can't talk to anybody but them, you're supposed to do that, because to them, everything you do is supposed to revolve around what they want. You exist only to serve their every whim and every desire, and should feel honored to do so in their minds, their sick, sick minds. Number 9, you're constantly making excuses for their behavior. And this usually manifests as you're making excuses for things that, like, nobody else would get an excuse for. Like, if you're talking to somebody or texting and the narcissist rips the phone out of your hand and texts who's ever on the other side and threatens them, you know, for the narcissist, you'll make an excuse for that. But like anybody else, you know, and rightfully so, that would be assault. Or the narcissist can show up at your home and refuse to leave, and that's somehow funny, when if anybody else did it, it would be terrifying, and there'd rightfully be police being called. But so the target in their own minds basically loses all boundaries, if they had any, and excuses any behavior of the narcissist, and you're on track to essentially convincing yourself that you're their property. And once you get there, it's hard to get out. Number 10, you avoid giving information to friends or family and avoid confrontation with your narcissist. So you're not letting people know the details. Usually when you're at the point where you know it's bad and you got to get out, you don't want anybody to know really what's going on. And subconsciously, usually the target will seek out people that they trust in their lives who know about narcissism and borderlines, and they'll give like just enough information to let the person know, like, this is bad, I need help, but I'm not ready for help. And they go to somebody who's also intuitive and can read the person, they're going to put it together real fast. And, well, if you're me, you're going to get angry, because I can't stand abuse and exploitation. So if somebody's being abused and exploited and they want out, but they feel like they have no choice but to resign themselves to that fate because it might hurt some great narcissist feelings, yeah, no. I'm going to lose my shit. I mean, lose, not have. Lose. I would. I haven't. It's not like I've ever done that. Or made a scene, or got in a fight, or, had to talk to the cops for calling out a narcissist. 11, you feel isolated from friends and family. And I discussed this in other videos. That's what the narcissist and the borderline wants. They want the target, the person they're obsessed with, to be completely and utterly reliant on them. They want them to be their whole world. They want it so the target has nowhere else to go, so they'll never leave the narcissist. And again, these are all things you'll see when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. These are the main 13 things they're going to try to do to gaslight you. I got 2 more. 12. Feeling increasingly hard to make decisions. Again, narcissists typically go after people who aren't good at this anyway, but when you're being gaslit by a narcissist, they won't even ask for your opinion. They'll just make up your mind of what you're doing. They'll even cancel other plans you make. Like if you make plans with somebody else and you're with a narcissist, or you're even just in the stages of being targeted by a narcissist where you haven't submitted to being with them, but they have already claimed you, the narcissist will straight up cancel your plans. And again, that's, you know, something that you wouldn't take from anybody else, but for some reason, narcissists and borderlines do it in a way, and they target the right people that they get away with it for a time. So yes, you'll be isolated from friends and family because the narcissist believes that you exist only to serve them. And plus, if you're isolated from them, they can't know what's really going on. Because remember, the narcissist and the borderline do these actions by choice. This is their free will. They disgustingly believe they have the right to do it. But these aren't subconscious actions like well, not all your INFJs. Like an INFJ's introverted intuition, putting pieces of the puzzle together, that's subconscious. We don't even know how we do it. A narcissist or a borderline gaslighting is of their own free will. They are manipulating by choice. They don't care as long as they get what they want. That's all they care about. They don't care who they hurt, what they do, who they destroy, as long as their sick needs are satisfied. I can't say that enough. It's all by choice, and they know what they're doing. And 13, you feel hopeless and taking little or no pleasure in activities you used to enjoy. Yeah, in other words, stuff that you used to find joy in, the narcissist has ruined or in the process of ruining that for you, because that's something that can give you independence away from them, and it could also be something that they have no interest in. And if they have no interest in it, you as their property aren't allowed to do it, and it's stupid and wrong, and you should be focusing on them because, oh, they have it so tough, and oh my God, every little thing is the end of the world for the narcissist and the borderline, and you need to be there for them at every second because you exist only to serve them. Yes. So, that right there is 13 signs of gaslighting in your relationship. In contrast, you know, a real relationship, well, maybe I should save this for another. I'm going to save it for another video. It's already getting long. But if you've exhibited those 13 signs, or most of them, then yes, you are being gaslit. You are most likely in a relationship with someone with NPD or BPD, and you know you need to get out, and you need to get out. If you notice these signs, then you need ideally to go no contact, or at least actually confide in people in your life, if you're fortunate enough to have them, that know about this kind of stuff and maybe have been in these situations and know what to do. But the main thing to understand, and if the situation calls for police, certainly call the police, you know, civil standby if nothing else. But what you need to know above all else is that this is never going to get better if you're in this situation. It is only going to get worse. The narcissist gets worse over time, not better, and you have less boundaries and are less able to stand up for yourself, and you become more isolated, especially from those that would say something. You'll be surrounded simply by the narcissist enablers. So I hope these signs enlighten you as to if you believe somebody is gaslighting you, and if you're in a romantic relationship with them, or if they're, you know, strong-arming you into one, because they do that too. So remember, you have free will. The narcissist is nobody. They think they are. They think they're above all people and there's some kind of royalty, but they're not. It's all delusions in their head. So trust your intuition. If you think a narcissist is gaslighting you and they show these signs, and that's probably what's happening. And I say it a lot, but I'm saying it again. Don't sell out your integrity to please a narcissist, because they're never pleased. There's no pleasing them. They always want more and more and more. And if this video or others have helped, please consider sending a tip either by the super thanks button or the Cash App link that I'll put down in the description. And I'll be back with more videos because, I don't know, because people are starting to watch them. Don't know why. But just keep watching. And watch the older ones too.